So this next video is going to definitely be about people who really want to get into consciousness and they don't know where to start. And I feel like I don't want to how to teach people how to get in there, but I kind of really, I don't know how to explain how to, oh, okay, I want to open up my eyes, or I want to really start looking at things. And I got a lot of people emailing me, and they'll be like, Sister Quartz, like I'm not indoctrinated yet, or I'm not, I feel like I have to be, quote unquote, initiated. My thing about it is, start wherever you want to fucking start. I mean, there's no such thing as right or wrong, wherever you feel comfortable in. I'm not gonna lie, where I first started, it was all about, Heru said, this, that, and I'm not gonna lie, then I started getting like obsessed with the what is that, the tribe, I forgot the name of it, but anyways, it was definitely Dr. Delbert Blair inspired. Like, I was obsessed with Dr. Blair. So if y'all haven't heard of him, run over there, type his name in, and check him out. He talks about vampirism. He talks about the Anunnaki, and he just talks about UFOs. He talks about all type of stuff and how to prepare yourself for the government and this and that. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was on him for a hot minute. Like, he was my nigga, right? But after that, right, let me tell you, it gets crazy. So at one point, I was getting so obsessed with it that I was like, after I got done watching him, I was like, you know what? I'm about to go outside, catch some rays, because I'm going back to the sun or whatever like that, to Nibiru. I mean, the shit was hot, right? I'm thinking like, all right, this is where I'm supposed to be. I'm going back to Nibiru, which is cool. You gotta start somewhere before you can expand into another realm, if you will, but you have to be open. So I go outside and I'm reading my book and stuff like that, soaking up the rays, you know what I'm saying, hanging out with my niggas. Then all of a sudden, damn fly come, and then a horse fly, and then a bee, and I'm like, damn, when the last time you seen these insects? Is that the government? I was thinking that the government was sending bees over to come and listen to my mind and hear my mind and stuff. And then I had to get to a point where I was like, okay, bitch. I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it could happen. So everything was like, I was becoming paranoid. I had tape over my phone. I'm like, they not going to see me. They're not going to see me. I'm not going to let them into my life. I put tape over my damn computer lens. Like, it almost consumed my life. Then I started to watch these documentaries. I would find documentaries because I had to know, like, the surface of whatever is going on in humanity. Chemtrails and food and GMO and this and that. And I was like, oh my God, I'm becoming literally obsessed. Then after a point, I was like, you know what? I feel like I've reached my limit of what's going on in the world. And then I had to just reel back. And then that's when I started to listen to, like, oh my goodness, it's so funny. I forgot this part too. I was listening to a lot of Red Pill, Blue Pill, and I like them because they're on a grander scale. Like, if you want to listen to, like, if you want to hear about hip hop culture or just culture in general, they're really good with that one too. And then I was like, okay, enough of that. And then, like, this is my thing. If you're gonna do something, get obsessed with it. Get obsessed with it, and to the point that you can't even take it anymore. And then you can assess and then make your own judgment against whatever is going on. Get obsessed, but to the point that it's starting to scare you, you know what I'm saying? Like, to the point that after once it scares you and you go through that fear. And that's the whole point. That's what I think. This is how I think, that you have to go through a certain thing and you push through that fear. Once you get to push through that fear, then you can go into another realm. I mean, you have to be this is how I feel. So after that, I was searching, and I was like, man, what else can I read about? Because I go past things. Like, I became a Christian. I was like, I'm gonna become a Christian. I did all the Christian doctrines. I went to a Christian college. Like, I went Christian. Then I said, I'm over being a Christian because I know enough. And then I'm like, you know what? I want to be a Muslim because I want to know all about being a Muslim. I want to know about being all of that. So I took on Islam. I did the whole hijab. I did everything. Read the Quran. Did the whole fasting, and I was like, you know what? I already needed what I got from that. Then Buddhism, same thing. I get so obsessed and addicted to things, and then once I get enough and I'm filled, I move on. And I feel like sometimes people don't move on. You have to move on to something else. So therefore, then that's when I found Brother Panic. Fell in love right off the boot. But my thing about it is, when he was talking everything, but he didn't stay on one thing. Of course he had a focus on something, but at the end of the day, we're scientists, and as scientists we base everything upon an experiment or a hypothesis, and we see what happens, and then we move the fuck on. So my thing about it is, what I've been observing, and this is being a scientist, because as scientists we observe things. I observe that we tend to get stuck on one thing. Now, it's not my duty to say, you know what, guys, let's get together and we can move on together. Fuck no, because at the end of the day, we're supposed to have niggas that's supposed to be stuck. But what comes with being stuck is becoming stagnant, and then where's the magic going to really come? I feel like the magic comes when you move on and you create something else. But then you have to create your own new information. You have to create your own lane. You have to read. You have to put in the muscle. You have to put in that research. You have to be a true fucking scientist. You have to be a metaphysician. You have to be a true occultist, because you know, once you get into one thing, you're not going to change one thing. All you can do is master something, and once you master it, you can take it with you to another and manipulate it, and then move on to another. It's going in levels. That's why it's so much fun to even delve into being in the cabal, or reading about Gnosticism, or etc., etc. It's so good because you get to go through each and every point, and knowing that 9 is going to be the place of completion. So my thing about it is, definitely read. I read a shit ton, and I think I read a little bit beyond what I'm supposed to sometimes, because it's like, oh my goodness, I'm reading one book, but then on the other hand, I'm reading another book. So my thing about it is, if something that you really, really, really want to do and you really want to get into, it doesn't matter where you start. It's just, you need it's not really a really starting place. Get into something that you really like and create your own way, create your own magic, create your own life. But it doesn't have to be a conscious community. It's a spirituality. It's something that you create and you captivate and you cultivate on your own. It becomes your life, and it becomes your purpose. And when your purpose is over, you go. And that's what the true freedom is. And I feel like after a while, niggas is scared of dying. They say they don't care, but deep behind closed doors, it's easy to type and say, I'm not scared. But on the other hand, you talking about humanity shit. So at the end of the day, like Bobby Hemmett says, and I don't tend to quote a lot of people, but I'll quote some people every once in a while when I feel the need be. But you have to fall in love with death, because for one, it's gonna fucking happen anyway, But that's gonna be your true way of saying, or once you found your path, or once you found your life-driven path, and when it's time for you to go, you've done your job. But my thing about it is, being on earth, you have to find something that's going to still connect you to the spirit that was unleashed down here for you to fulfill. So at the end of the day, happy hunting, happy reading, and fuck off. Peace.